halfway intelligent on how you make this succeed. Comics love energy. So you bring it and they bring it more. Most comics would rather perform for a high energy audience than to get paid. So most likely you don't know the people sitting next, well maybe sitting next to you, but sitting across from you, behind you, so you could laugh. You might hear something that's maybe a little crude or unprofessional. You can laugh, it's okay. No one is judging you here. So just have fun, relax, and have a really good time. Sound good? All right, very good. See, good energy, good energy. All right, so what I'm going to do is quickly introduce to you tonight's comic. Tonight's comic, you might have heard of him, you might have seen him. His name is Eddie Vincent, aka Eddie from New York. He has performed across the United States and the Caribbean. He has shared the stage with very famous people such as Josh Blue from America's Got Talent, Joey Diaz from the Joe Rogan podcast, and Mr. Greg Fitzsimmons, who is a very, very funny person. Hello, people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Sit closer to the front if you can. That way you get a little more of the excitement and the energy there. The comedian, he is a grandfather of 5, and he's the only Vietnam veteran performing in the U.S., and he has helped raise thousands and thousands of dollars for homeless veterans and children needing organ transplant. He has a Netflix special that he's working on called It Sucks Getting Old. And now what I need you guys to do is help give me a warm welcome by putting your hands together, showing a little bit of energy for Eddie from New York. Let's start the chant. Eddie, 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 Eddie.
What up, everybody? They told me, the general manager came up to me and said, "You better keep it clean." I took a shower, does that count? But I didn't wash my hands, you're still gonna hear some dirt. I've been a comic for 10 years. And when I first got into it, I would get nervous talking to big groups, 200 to 300 people, sitting there with their arms folded, saying, "Make me laugh." But then an experienced comic came up and said, "Eddie, just picture everybody naked, and you'll be fine." So I tried that in an old people's home, and I threw up on the stage. I don't have a sitcom. I don't have a Netflix special. I don't have a movie deal. I don't have anything like that. But comedy has made a huge resurgence in the last 20 years. And because of two people have made comedy what it is, sell out crowds, thousands of comics across the country and the world. You know who those two people are? Biden and Trump. Let's get the elephant out of the room. I mean, Joe Biden is the funniest. Joe Biden is the funniest because he doesn't even know what he's saying. So when he says something, he forgets it right away. I mean, he's in shape, Joe Biden. Not like Trump. He looks like he works out. He looks like he's exercising every day. I don't think it's that. I think he can't find his mouth with a fork to feed himself. But he has a seeing eye dog, which really helps, named Jill. I mean, have you heard some of Joe Biden's interviews? I did 3 tours in World War I. I finished first in my class. I got a 17-degree black belt in Shotokan karate. Stay away from my wife, Jill. And then he says, "If you ain't going for me, you ain't black." He said that. And he had that frozen face smile. Did you ever see that one? This is Joe Biden. I mean, Trump, on the other hand, the Republicans say that Trump is not contributing to global warming. Said he's doing nothing to harm global warming, don't worry about it. What's all that methane coming out of his mouth? That's contributing to global warming. He had a meeting with the Prime Minister of India last year, and the Prime Minister was complaining about the neighboring country, Nepal. And Trump kept referring to it as nipples. And the guy says, oh, President Trump, I want to go to war with Nepal. They're encroaching on my territory. And Trump said, look, Prime Minister, we're going to take out Nepal. Then we're going to take out Greenland. Then we're going to take out Iceland. Then we're going to make Canada a state. Then we're going to go after El Salvador and Cuba. I'm going to send Mario down there. Mario's got little hands and little feet. He can deal with Kim Jong-un from South Korea, the Rocket Man. They're the same size. I'm going to send Elon out for the big war, Russia against the Ukraine. Elon's got big hands and big feet. I saw him coming out of the shower. That's a real man. I moved from New York City after 65 years to Denver, Colorado. And it was like culture shock, man. The people there are so nice, but they don't tell you what they're thinking. You know, back in New York, it's like, hey man, you saw. Oh no, you saw. Oh, let's go and get a beer. People in Colorado, you don't know what they're thinking. But they're so nice. They use phrases like, you're fine, and no worries. I bumped into the lady at the supermarket the other day. She says, you're fine. I said, thank you very much. She said, no worries. I said, lady, I ain't worried. If you cut somebody off in traffic in Denver, you're like, just go ahead of me. I'm texting anyway. And they have pedestrian crossings in Denver. Back east, it was every man for himself. It was the Wild Wild West. You took your life into your hands when you crossed the street. I'm going down a side street in Denver, 35 miles an hour, last Sunday, listening to Simon and Garfunkel, going cruising along on 35 miles. And the guy comes out, 6'2", big guy, with a dog this big, holds up his arm and makes me slam on the brakes. I had to swerve to hit the both of them. But there's another war going on though in Colorado. Pickleball versus tennis. You guys got pickleball where you live? Is this the pickleball section? Okay. I mean, I'm a serious tennis player. I don't play with anybody that's not my level. Tennis has 100 years of tradition. And it takes at least 5 years to get good, and 3 years to learn the scoring. Deuce, and love. That's to keep the idiots out. We don't want you. We're not friendly. Pickleball. I'm standing by the fence one day watching it, and everybody's so happy. And they come, why don't you come in and play? I say, hey man, I never played before. That's okay. You can come in. I don't have a paddle. We got paddles, don't worry, we'll give you a paddle. My wife never played. Don't worry, bring her tonight. Bring her to my house actually, and we'll have a threesome. That's how welcoming they are. I just got on social media. At my age, page, Facebook, and I'm reading these surveys for women. What is it that attracted you to your future husband? And I'm reading these answers. I fell in love with his strong shoulders. He makes me happy. Come on, girls. You don't know what that means, and it's not taking out the garbage. And then I read the survey for men. What is it that attracted you to your future wife? And I'm reading these answers. I fell in love with her eyes. I fell in love with her smile. Come on, guys, go a little further down. That's what you fell in love with. I had COVID 3 times. I almost died. I was intubated, giving my last rites. People were looking down at me in the hospital. Eddie, whatever you need, tell us. I looked up, I said, how about $10,000 in cash? And they scattered like rats. I got so backed up from the medicine. The doctor comes out and says, Eddie, we got to do a special procedure on you. I said, is it covered by insurance? He said, no, it's $500 out of pocket. I said, I'll pass. I'll settle for the $3.99 special at Taco Bell. I lost $200 a month when Costco stopped serving hors d'oeuvres for lunch. Don't get me wrong, I love Costco. But they gotta do something about the old people getting gas there. But it works out. I listened to a 500-page audio book before they even get the gas cap off. I had to make a telemedicine appointment with my urologist over the computer. You couldn't go to a doctor's office. And I have him on the computer screen, and he's telling me, bend over like this. Hold the computer over here. Bend over a little more. Pull down your pants. And my neighbor sees me from the window and reports me to the police. My wife and I started having problems. Relationship sex. I bought a book, Relations Over 75. And the pages were blank. They sent me to a regenerative medicine clinic. They start shooting me full of steroids all down my leg to get everything going. And the next day it worked. I was pole vaulting out of bed. But it didn't last. Then the therapist says to me, Eddie, you know, sex is in the mind. I said, I know, but I have dementia. Then she says, well, can't you have your wife wear some sexy stockings to bed? I said, how come it's okay for her to wear socks to bed, but if I wear them, I'm gross? And she says, well, according to your chart, you have sleep apnea. You gotta start wearing your mask. I put my mask on, my wife got into it. She thought I was a different guy. Now she wants to go out with Ronald McDonald. Then, when none of that worked on me, they sent me to a real medical doctor. And they hand me a clipboard with 100 pages. You gotta fill this whole thing out. We need every procedure, operation, supplement you've ever had in your life. I said, I ain't filling that out. She said, you have to or we can't treat you. I said, I can't, I have dementia. She says, well, can we fill out this little box at the bottom? Who do you want us to contact in case of an emergency? We assume it's your wife sitting over there. I said, my wife? Call an ambulance. She's worse than me. I grew up in New York, obviously. Gonna take my daughter to have some coffee. Al Pacino. Hey, I'm standing here. John Travolta, remember that movie, Saturday Night Fever? Andrew Dice Clay, they all lived around my way. When I was 10 years old, I grew up in Hell's Kitchen, which is 10th Avenue, on the Lower East Side, the worst avenue in New York. When I walked out of my house, everybody I saw either killed somebody or needed a dental plan. I would witness assault and battery on a daily basis because I went to Catholic school. Those nuns would beat us so bad on the backside. I went home, I told my father. He said, Eddie, they just have a different management style. And hits me again. I mean, the priests try to help us. They at least would hit us in the face. Now that I'm 75, getting old sucks, man. I mean, they say 50's the new 30 and 60's the new 40. Well, 70 is the new 80. Nothing works anymore. I was in the Target changing room the other day. I saw myself in the mirror. I scared the crap out of myself. That can't be me. It happens overnight. Yeah, you have knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and that's where it ends. I mean, I'm still watching 70s sitcoms on the TV channel. All in the Family, Good Times, Sanford and Son. I'm watching Gilligan's Island and Andy and Mayberry the other day, and I realize I'm 40 years older than the guys in that show. The Golden Girls are starting to look good to me. But you women know how to get it on. You know how to pose for pictures. You know how to hold your stomach in, chest out. You got side boob, under boob, everywhere a boob, boob. We men have nothing to make us look good. My wife says to me, why don't you invent something, wise guy, and get it on Shark Tank? So that night, I got a little tight Speedo bikini bathing suit. I put a slit inside, I called it side skin, and they threw me out of the studio. And what's up with these Lifetime movies and Hallmark movies? You see these people get together now, 30 and 40 years old. They're sitting at a table, they're gazing in each other's eyes, and they're saying, I want to know everything about you. What you've done your whole life. We can't have any secrets between us. What idiot invented that? We have nothing to keep secret anymore. No secrets between us. But I like to go to all-you-can-eat buffets. There's a place in Colorado called Golden Corral. I mean, it must have a puke wall on the back when you come out. Because everybody overeats. When it's free or all you can eat, everybody overeats. I'm sitting next to this lady, and she has a large freezer bag. And she's putting chicken into the freezer bag and putting it back in her purse. And then she puts in some mashed potatoes and some mac and cheese. And I said to my wife, should I go over and say something to her? She said, no, maybe she needs the food for her kids or something. I said, no, I gotta go over and say something. As I'm going over, she puts soft chocolate ice cream on top of the mac and cheese. I go over and say, lady, I see what you're doing. You're going to at least use the vanilla instead of chocolate. My wife and I, on this vacation, almost went to divorce court. Almost. Because of one phone call. I called up the front desk and I said, hello, front desk? My wife backed up the toilet bowl. She said, okay, sir, we'll send somebody up right away. I had to go out and take another phone call. I step outside the door. The maintenance man is already there. My wife opens the door. The maintenance man says, are you the one that backed up the toilet bowl? My wife hates me now. Ready for divorce court. Now she always bothers me. She wants to travel more. She says, I want to go to Paris. Paris is the most beautiful city in the world. I'm like, do they have Netflix? I ain't going there. I'm staying right where I am. I mean, have you been to Paris? Have you ever seen the Eiffel Tower during the day? It looks like a piece of junk. It only looks good when it's lit up. I mean, Godzilla came out of the sea and knocked it over with his tail. How good could that Eiffel Tower be? I mean, I'm a King Kong guy. King Kong stays in New York. He ain't swimming the whole Atlantic to get to Paris. He's climbing the Empire State Building with a blonde girlfriend. That's how cool King Kong is. Before I was married, I was a member of Silver Singles, which is your young people's version of Tinder. Hello, young people. Your parents and your grandparents are still having a good time. But I'm 75 years old. You know what the average age of death is in the United States? It's like 76, 77. I don't have much time left. Maybe 78, I don't know. It's getting short. So me and this woman, we hit it off right away. She had the bleached blonde hair, the duck lips, the bee sting face. She looked like Housewives of the Rich and Botox. So after we're done having a good time, she says to me, hey, will you take me to see the play Hamilton? I'm like, Hamilton? I look on my phone. It's $800 for a good seat. I mean, my next call is to Rocket Mortgage to get a loan to pay for the tickets. When I got out of Hamilton, I felt like I got taken for a timeshare in Mexico. Except there, I get a 3 weeks vacation. Here, I get a little Playbill book to remind me I get ripped off for a history lesson. And they talk so fast in these plays. They make you feel like you're getting educated. I mean, I'm paying you so I can get a history lesson? Here's an example of a Broadway play. Senor Antonio, many a time and oft on the Rialto, you have rated me about my monies and my nuisances. Still have I borne it with a patient shrug, whose sufferance is the badge of all my trial. Now this guy masked like a donkey, like a monkey, look like King Kong. We got condos we could play, we got cribs we could lay. Calle Ocho from the 305. This land don't belong to Virginia. My heart doesn't bleed for the South. This land here is Anderson land. I'm gonna tear this freaking roof off like 2 dogs' cages. I was playing in the beginning, but the mood all changed. I've been chewed up and spit out and put on stage. You are not the father, yes. Are you being entertained? You got 5% luck, 20% skill, 50% concentrated power of will, 10% pleasure, 20% pain, 100% reasoning. Remember my name, Eddie from New York. You've been a great audience. Thank you very much.